Kim Go-yoon wasn't the type to show her emotions easily. She had mastered the art of calm composure, the serene smile, the polite nod, the professional distance. Years in the industry had taught her that eyes were always watching and cameras never truly turned off. But today, on this bright Seoul afternoon filled with flashes and reporters, something cracked through her cool exterior. A smile, soft, unplanned, barely there but unmistakably real, and Lee Min-ho saw every second of it. The moment happened during a press conference for their new project. The room was filled with journalists, each desperate to get the perfect angle, the perfect quote, the perfect hint of chemistry to feed the hungry internet. Min-ho and Go-yoon sat side by side at the long front table, microphones positioned precisely in front of them, nameplates gleaming under the lights. Throughout the event, Min-ho had been unnervingly quiet, watching more than he spoke. Not because he didn't have answers, not because he wasn't used to the noise, but because every time he glanced at Go-yoon, something inside him softened in a way he couldn't quite control. And today, the world would see it too. A reporter stood up and asked a simple question, one meant to get a laugh, a light-hearted moment to break the tension. "Kim Go-yoon SSI," the reporter began, "what is it like working with Lee Min-ho again? Does he still tease you on set?" The room chuckled lightly. Min-ho smirked. Go-yoon straightened her lips, preparing the professional, safe, neutral answer, the kind she had delivered 1,000 times. But then Min-ho leaned closer to his microphone and whispered, not loudly, not obviously, but enough for the front rows to hear, "She still gets shy around me." He didn't look at the reporters. He looked at her, just her, and that was it. It shattered her composure instantly. Go-yoon tried, truly tried, to keep a straight face. She pressed her lips together. She glanced down at the table. She exhaled slowly. But the smile crept up anyway, starting from her eyes, pulling at the corners, blooming across her face like she couldn't stop it no matter how hard she tried. She lifted her hand to hide it, fingers brushing her cheek lightly, but it didn't help. Because once you try to hide a genuine smile, it becomes even more obvious. The room erupted in knowing laughter. Cameras flashed, recorders clicked, and Min-ho, he looked at her like she was the only person in that room. He didn't laugh. He didn't tease further. He didn't turn away. He simply watched her smile, slowly, quietly, like he had been waiting months to see it again. That one moment was enough to send the internet spiraling for the rest of the day. But inside that press hall, something else happened, something that no microphone caught and no camera fully captured. Kim Go-yoon lowered her hand, cheeks pink with embarrassment. She tried to compose herself again, shifting slightly in her seat. "You didn't have to say that," she whispered under her breath. Min-ho tilted his head slightly. "Why? It's true." She glared at him, but even that glare was betrayed by the lingering softness in her eyes. "You make everything difficult." "For who?" he asked innocently. "You or me?" She didn't answer. She couldn't. Because the truth was that he was right. He made things difficult, but not in the way she pretended. Not by teasing or provoking her in public, but by seeing her even when she tried so hard to stay unseen. The press conference moved on, but the tension between them didn't fade. In fact, it only grew. Later, after the final round of questions, after the photos, after the polite bows and the professional smiles, the two slipped backstage through a dimly lit hallway. Go-yoon walked ahead, heels clicking softly, still embarrassed. Min-ho followed behind, hands in his pockets, amused but quiet. When she reached the dressing room door, she finally turned around. "Why did you say that?" she asked. Her voice wasn't angry, just soft, unsure, the kind of tone one uses when they're afraid of the answer. He stepped closer, stopping only a foot away. "Because you were nervous," she blinked. "How would you know? You always touch your ring finger when you're nervous," he said quietly. "You've done it since 2020, her breath caught. Her hand, without realizing, moved instinctively to her ring finger, and she froze. He had noticed, all these years, he had remembered. Go-yoon looked down, voice dropping. "Min-ho SSI, you can't say things like that in front of them." "Why not?" he countered softly. "Because it means something when you say it." He didn't respond right away. Instead, he watched her, really watched her, taking in the way her lashes lowered, the way she shifted her weight, the way her emotions flickered across her face like light through water. Then he spoke, Did it make you smile because it embarrassed you or because it was true? She looked up sharply, too sharply. Her silence became the answer. Min-ho stepped closer, only inches from her now, lowering his voice. Go Yuna, you can hide your smile from everyone else, but not from me. She exhaled shakily, looking away. This is dangerous. Only if you run from it, he replied. A staff member suddenly called their names, breaking the moment. They stepped back quickly, masks sliding over their expressions again. But the crack in her composure didn't fade, not this time. The rest of the day unfolded in unexpected ways. During their photo shoot segment, something subtle shifted between them. It wasn't the usual chemistry they were praised for, it was something more tender, more open. In one shot, the photographer asked them to stand closer. Closer, the photographer repeated. Min-ho stepped closer immediately, but Go Yoon hesitated. Not because she didn't want to, but because she wanted it too much. Min-ho noticed. He always noticed. So instead of waiting for her to close the distance, he gently angled himself so she wouldn't have to move. A small gesture, barely noticeable, but she saw it, and she appreciated it more than she let on. During another shot, she accidentally bumped into his shoulder. She whispered sorry, barely audible, but Min-ho simply smiled and said, "It's okay, stay close." The photographer captured that moment, the softening in Go Yoon's eyes, the warmth in Min-ho's smile, the too natural way they stood beside each other. Later, when the team reviewed the photos, the stylist whispered, "They look real." Another stylist replied, "They look comfortable, like themselves." But the best moment came at the very end of the day. When the shoot wrapped, Min-ho and Go Yoon walked toward the exit together. Staff members buzzed around them, carrying equipment and chatting loudly, but the two actors seemed to exist in a quiet bubble. Just before they reached the car park, Go Yoon paused. Min-ho stopped too. She turned slightly, looking up at him with hesitant eyes. "Earlier, when I smiled, you really saw everything, didn't you?" He nodded. "I always do. And you won't say anything else that puts me in a difficult position?" Min-ho considered it. His expression shifted from playful to serious, from teasing to sincere. "I won't say anything you're not ready for," he said softly. "But don't ask me to pretend I don't notice you." Her breath caught again. He took one small step closer, his voice dropping into a low warmth that sent a shiver down her spine. "Go Yuna," he whispered. "I don't want you to hide your smile, not from me." She swallowed hard. "You make it too obvious." "Maybe," he admitted, "but maybe it's time." Their manager suddenly called their names, and just like that, the world rushed back in. Go Yoon stepped toward her van, but before she got in, she glanced back at Min-ho one more time.